Good morning, esteemed dignitaries, distinguished guests, and respected colleagues. It is both an honor and privilege to welcome you all to this prestigious conference, jointly organized by the 16th Finance Commission, Government of India, and the National Institute of Disaster Management, New Delhi. Today marks a significant milestone in our collective journey toward fostering resilience, sustainability, and a strategic finance planning in disaster risk management. In an era where the frequency and intensity of disaster continue to challenge governance framework and economic stability, this platform serves as a critical confluence of policymakers, academicians, practitioners, and thought leaders. We are truly privileged to have you, such esteemed personality, with us today, and their presence add a great value to this occasion. Dr. Arvind Pangaria, a Chairman, 16th Finance Commission. Dr. Arvind Pangaria is the Jagdish Bhagwati Professor of Economics at the Columbia University and is currently serving as the Chairman of 16th Finance Commission. He also served as the first Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog, Government of India, a former Chief Economist at the Asian Development Bank. Professor Pangaria was previously on the faculty of University of Maryland at College Park and has also worked with the World Bank, IMF, and UNCTAD in various practices. He holds a PhD in economics from the Princeton University and has authored more than 15 books. His scientific papers have been published in numerous leading economic journals. Our next esteemed personality, Dr. Pawan Kotwal, IAS, Chief Secretary, Administration. May I now request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem. Jana Gana Mana Adhinayak Jai Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravid Udkal Ganga Himachal Yamuna Ganga Uchchal Jaladhi Taranga Tab Shubha Naame Jage Tab Shubha Ashish Mange Gaye Tab Jaya Gatha Jana Gana Mangal Dayak Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Jaya He Jaya He Jaya He Jaya 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 He. Thank you, everyone. Following this, I invite our esteemed dignitaries to join us for the Deep Prajavalin.
सर एक्चुअली ये सोलर लैंप था लेकिन ये ऑलरेडी चार्ज हो गया है तो आपको बस सामने कर देना ऐसे बस थैंक यू सर
This is the latest lamp lighting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Now, moving forward, it is our privilege to honor and felicitate our esteemed dignitaries whose leaderships and vision continue to guide our nation's financial and disaster management strategies. I request Professor Dr. Saket Kushwaha to come forward to felicitate our esteemed dignitaries.
सर आपका स्वागत सर घर वालों का स्वागत तो ऐसे ही करें। Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now we move ahead with the formal proceeding of this inaugural session. To set the tone for this significant gathering, it is my honor to invite Dr. Saket Kushwaha, Vice Chancellor, University of Ladakh, to deliver the welcome address and extend a warm greetings to all our distinguished guests, speakers, and participants.
Thank you, Ms. Lamoji. Thank you very much for this wonderful start. Thank you very much. Suprabhat. Greetings. Jule. Assalamu alaikum. सम्मानित अतिथिगण, गणमान्य व्यक्तित्व, विद्वानगण और सभी प्रतिभागीगण, यह मेरे लिए अत्यंत सम्मान और सौभाग्य की बात है कि आप सभी का इस जोखिम न्यूनीकरण सम्मेलन में स्वागत करता हूं। मैं हिंदी में बोलना चाहूँगा और जिनको तकलीफ़ होगी बाद में मैं इसका एक वर्जन दे दूँगा। धन्यवाद। स्वागत करता हूं, जिसका विशेष फोकस हिमालयीय आपदा प्रतिरोध क्षमता पर है। यह सम्मेलन भारत सरकार के 16वें वित्त आयोग और राष्ट्रीय आपदा प्रबंधन संस्थान NIDM के मार्गदर्शन में आयोजित किया जा रहा है और यह सम्मेलन ज्ञान साझा करने, सहयोग करने और हिमालयीय क्षेत्र में आपदा न्यूनीकरण हेतु रणनीतिक योजना बनाने के लिए एक महत्वपूर्ण मंच प्रदान करता है। लद्दाख विश्वविद्यालय को इस महत्वपूर्ण कार्यक्रम का हिस्सा बनने पर अत्यधिक गर्व का अनुभव हो रहा है। लद्दाख क्षेत्र अपनी अनूठी भौगोलिक और जलवायु परिस्थितियों के कारण प्राकृतिक आपदाओं के प्रति विशेष रूप से संवेदनशील है। इसलिए आपदा जोखिम न्यूनीकरण और प्रतिरोधक क्षमता निर्माण पर चर्चा हमारे लिए अत्यंत प्रासंगिक है। आज जब हम विशेषज्ञों, नीति निर्माताओं और शिक्षाविदों को एक मंच पर ला रहे हैं तो हमारा मुख्य उद्देश्य स्पष्ट है: नवाचारपूर्ण समाधान विकसित करना और भविष्य की चुनौतियों के लिए अपनी तैयारी को सुदृढ़ करना। मैं डॉक्टर अरविंद पनगड़िया, माननीय अध्यक्ष 16वां वित्त आयोग का, उनकी उपस्थिति और मूल्यवान दृष्टिकोण के लिए आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। मैं डॉक्टर पवन कोतवाल, माननीय चीफ सेक्रेटरी, केंद्र शासित प्रदेश लद्दाख की विशेष रूप से स्वागत करता हूं, जिनकी दूरदृष्टि और समर्थन लद्दाख क्षेत्र में परिवर्तनकारी पहलों के लिए आगे बढ़ रहा है। सर, आपका स्वागत है। मैं श्री राजेंद्र रत्नू, IAS ऑफिसर, कार्यकारी निदेशक NIDM का, उनके नेतृत्व और इस क्षेत्र में उनके अमूल्य योगदान के लिए हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। मैं इसके साथ यहां उपस्थित 16वां वित्त आयोग के सभी और NIDM के सभी सदस्यों का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, उनका स्वागत करता हूं, मंचासीन अतिथियों का स्वागत करता हूं। मैं केंद्र शासित प्रदेश के विभिन्न विभागों के सचिवों का, सभी IPS एवं IFS अधिकारियों का एवं सभी राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा में जुड़े अधिकारी, सैन्य कर्मियों का, सैन्य अधिकारियों का दिल से स्वागत करता हूं। मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है कि आज की चर्चा में केवल लद्दाख ही नहीं बल्कि देश के अन्य आपदा प्रबंधन क्षेत्रों के लिए भी हम उपयोगी नीतियों को तैयार करेंगे। मैं विशेष रूप से सुश्री भानु जी का एवं शशांका जी का के सहयोग एवं मार्गदर्शन और मनोबल बढ़ाने के लिए स्वागत करता हूं एवं धन्यवाद देता हूं। इस कार्यक्रम को सफल बनाने में अपना सहयोग देने के लिए उन सभी सज्जनों का धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा। मैं लद्दाख विश्वविद्यालय से जुड़े सभी अधिकारियों का, सभी कर्मचारियों का, सभी वैज्ञानिकों का स्वागत करता हूं एवं अभिनंदन करता हूं। मैं खासकर हमारे रजिस्ट्रार टुंडुप साहब का एवं सुब्रत जी का, रफ़ी जी का हुसैन साहब का एवं उन जिगमत साहब का एवं उन सभी अधिकारियों का स्वागत करता हूं, अभिनंदन करता हूं, जिन्होंने अपनी ऊर्जा से इस कार्यक्रम को सफल बनाने में सहयोग दिया। मैं यह कहना चाहूँगा अपने कर्मचारी बंधुओं से, अपने साथियों से, कि भीगने वाले तो सिर्फ लिबास बदला करते हैं, पसीने से भीगने वाले इतिहास बदला करते हैं।
Thank you so much, sir, for your warm welcomes and for your words. Our conference for this such a demand a well-defined perspective to frame discussion in the right direction. For that, now I invite Shri Rajendra Ratnu, IAS, Executive Director, NIDM, to present the context setting and provide an insightful overview of the key themes and objective of the conference. Please, sir.
It is indeed an honor to today share the dais with the Honorable Commission today, and I'm very happy, and I must start with acknowledging the sensitivities and importance which Commission gives to the academic in this thing, because when last meeting of Commission was held in Delhi on disaster management, I made a request to some of the members that the voices of academia and particularly hilly states and these things which are very disaster prone should also be specifically session should be there, and the Commission has been very kind to consider and to have a specialized session to deliberate on some of the issues related to capacity building, and particularly with a special focus to Himalayan states. We are honored and grateful to you, sir. The land of Ladakh, which is not only beautiful in the mountains, valleys and the pristine landscapes, but it is also matched by the warmth of the people, the administration and all other people we could sense in a single day. Despite the challenges of high altitude, we could all navigate through that because of most caring and a lot of hospitality and support from the Union Territory Administration as well as the University of Ladakh. We are grateful for that. Coming to the subject, disasters do not only impact the infrastructure, they do not destroy infrastructure, but they wipe out the decades of development gains that we make. And at this juncture, when India is aspiring to be a global economic power, we have set, our Honorable Prime Minister and has set a goal for the nation to be a Viksit Bharat by 2047. And the biggest disruptor into this journey of development will be the climate change and climate change induced disasters. And therefore, it becomes very important for us to see that how we can factor in the mitigation strategies, the resilience strategies to offset these challenges.
It is with a great honor that I invite Dr. Pawan Kodwal, IAS Chief Secretary, to deliver the keynote address.
Sir, it's a great privilege for us that the full Finance Commission, 16th Finance Commission, has come to Leh to have a workshop, 2 days workshop on such an important topic of disaster management. Sir, Ladakh is a very new UT. We were created on 31st of October 2019. Geographically, it is a very vast area, around 60,000 square kilometer, and it is classified as climatically as a high altitude cold desert region. So definitely it has a high altitude ranging from 3,000 to 7,000 or maybe 8,000 meter above sea level. It is a very cold region in the winter. The temperatures drop to -45. I had learned that Dras is the coldest place in the Asia with -45. Maybe some other place has taken this honor now. And of course, it's a desert because the precipitation here is very low. It is of the range of, say, maximum 50 millimeter to 100 millimeter. And it is different at different places in Ladakh. Like in Kargil, it would be a bit different. In Changthang, different. In Leh, it would be different. But overall, it is 10 centimeters. So the precipitation is very, very low. So by the nature of its terrain and geography, the area is very fragile, environmentally as well ecologically. And we don't have rains here, so we don't have floods which we call fluvial floods here. But certainly it snows very heavily on the passes and on the mountain tops. And our only source of water here is whatever snow falls in the winter, we get the snow melt in the summer. So that is our only source of fresh water.
Thank you so much, sir. On behalf of everyone present, I extend our deepest gratitude to Dr. Pawan Kotwal for such an insightful and inspiring keynote address. And thank you for taking the time to be with us today, sir. To further enrich our discussion and set the stage for the session, I now invite Dr. Arvind Pangadia, Chairman of 16th Finance Commission, to share the insights throughout the opening remarks. Please.
Honorable members of the Finance Commission, Annie George Matthew and Dr. Manoj Panda, Honorable Chief Secretary, Shri Pawan Kotwal, the Executive Director of NIDM, Shri Rajendra Ratno, and above all, Vice Chancellor Shri Saket Kushwaha. First of all, sir, my heartfelt thanks for hosting us. You have made our stay extremely comfortable. Your teams in various areas, including medical, have been very actively assisting us, being very vigilant that our bodies behave. So we are all very grateful to you for hosting us. Thanks for the same to our Chief Secretary also. He being the representative of Ladakh, really, he being the head of Ladakh, administrative head of Ladakh. He also has the credit for giving the Union Territory of Ladakh to the Commission for holding this meeting here today. I also want to thank the Chief Secretary, for breaking the chain of recitation of the poems. I was really very worried that if you also recited a poem at the end of your speech, I will really stick out like a sore thumb. Only 1 out of the 4 speakers not to be able to do that. So I took a sigh of relief when you concluded your remarks without a poem. So in any case, for my opening remarks, I thought, since we also have here in the audience, I see that a lot of the participants who may not be familiar with the work of the Finance Commission, give you a little bit of background of the Finance Commission and then draw the connection to what we are doing today here. So the Constitution of India provides for the appointment of a Finance Commission every 5 years. Now, the mandate of the Finance Commission has to do with the division of union taxes. As briefly as one can put it, there are certain taxes which are levied and collected, are certainly collected directly by the state governments, and they go directly to the state governments. So, for example, state goods and services tax, SGST, goes directly to the states. Taxes on petroleum that the states levy also go directly to the states. Liquor taxes, they go directly to the states. And there are a bunch of other taxes, vehicle taxes, land revenue, some smaller items, property taxes, they all go straight to the states. Then there are some rare taxes which go directly to the central government, some cesses and surcharges in particular. Also the taxes that belong to the union territories. So any taxes that belong to Ladakh go directly to the central government's budget. Now the bulk of the other taxes, which means all income taxes, all corporation taxes, custom duties, all the big item taxes go into a common pool This is called the divisible pool. So every 5 years, the Finance Commission is appointed to make recommendation on how this divisible pool of tax revenues of the country should be divided between the central government and the state governments. And then whatever is the share of the state governments, how that should be divided among India's 28 states. Union territories are a part of the central government, so they are obviously funded out of the central government budget. And any, like for example, any GST that is raised in the union territories, that goes directly to the central government's budget. So that is the big task of this of the Finance Commission. But then there are a couple of other functions also that the Finance Commission performs. And one of these is to give grants. And these grants are given to local bodies, for example, the panchayats and the municipalities. Grants can also be given to states. These can be state-specific grants. They can also be sector-specific grants. These grants, by the way, actually come from the budget of the central government, or what we call the Consolidated Fund of India. And so there, obviously, you can see that since these grants are drawn from out of the central government budget, central government, obviously, the commission has to be careful because central government also has to be left with enough resources to carry out its mandates, its expenditure responsibilities. Now, one last item here which I have not yet mentioned is that the Finance Commission is also called upon to make recommendations on the grants that ought to be given to the states for disaster relief. Okay, and this is where today's conference is very relevant. There are issues of how exactly this money should be disbursed, because different states are very different in terms of what kind of disasters they face, what kind of vulnerabilities exist in the states, frequency of these disasters. So this is a difficult exercise, a bit of a technical exercise also. And so this is why, we saw Mr. Ratno talked about this DRI, Disaster Relief Index. So that was an index for the first time that the 15th Finance Commission used to divide, to allocate at least part of the disaster relief resources to the states. So that is the background of this. I think we also heard about, the issues of consultation, and as a part of its work, Finance Commission does very extensive consultations. It visits every single state. We have already visited 21 states, and 7 are still to be visited. So visiting states is one of the very important parts of our consultation process. But that's not the only one. We also consult with the central government ministries. We also consulted quite extensively with the academics, with the universities. And for that, what we did was to do 5 regional consultations. For Northeast, for example, we went to the Northeast Regional University, which is located in Meghalaya. And so all the academics from northeastern region came there and gave presentations from their particular state's viewpoint. So similarly, we held one consultation for the eastern states, which was held in Rajgir. We held one for the western states, which was held in Jaipur in Rajasthan. For the northern states, we just did in Delhi. For the southern states, we went to Visakhapatnam. So, this is, I'm laying that out for you so that you understand what our process is. Any citizen of India, or even if not a citizen, and wants to give advice or enlighten the Commission, we are very open to taking those suggestions. Our website provides a link where anybody can come in and write down their suggestions and submit to the Commission, and that is regularly checked. So that is our background for today. But today the focus really is, we also have discussions on other parts of our work on how the Commission should make its recommendation on the division of the divisible pool between the center and the states. That's called the vertical devolution, how the Commission should divide the states' share among the 28 states. That's called horizontal devolution and all. But today we are focusing on the disaster relief and mitigation. And with particular reference to the Himalayan region. Mr. Ratnu talked about that a bit, and the Chief Secretary talked about that as well. So we'll have 3 different sessions today. The first one will be on the Disaster Relief Index. And the background to that really is that this was the first, 15th Finance Commission was the first to actually use an index like that for allocating the disaster relief funds across states. And as we have been visiting different states, we have been hearing that a lot of the disasters that actually impact specific individual states were not included in that disaster relief index, and as a result, they did not get the funds that they deserved. They should have gotten based on what disasters they face. So that is an issue for the Commission. How exactly can we modify that index if we decide to continue to use that index for the allocative purposes? So that's going to be the first session. The second one will be on the capacity building and best practices in the field of disaster risk reduction. And the third session is going to be about the disaster resilience in the Himalayan region. So those are the 3 sessions. We got fantastic experts for each of these subjects. So I hope we will get to learn a lot on these 3 subjects during the day, throughout the day today. And I hope you all enjoy the sessions. With that, I shall conclude without a poem. Thank you.
As we conclude the inaugural session on this important conference on disaster risk reduction, as with a special focus on Himalayan disaster resilience, it is my privilege and honor to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks, first and foremost, to Dr. Arvind Pangadia, Chairman, 16th Finance Commission, Government of India, for his encouraging opening remarks and setting the tone for this important discussion. Thank you, sir. We also extend our deepest thanks to Ms. Annie George Matthew, members of the 16th Finance Commission and former Special Secretary, Department of Expenditure, Ministry of Finance. Thank you, ma'am. I also extend my warm thanks to Dr. Manoj Panda, member, 16th Finance Commission and former director of the Institute of Economic Growth and CESS, Hyderabad. Thank you, sir. We express our deepest gratitude to our esteemed guest, Dr. Pawan Kotwal, IAS, Chief Secretary, Administration of UT of Ladakh, for gracing his occasion with his presence and delivering an insightful keynote address. Sir, your invaluable thoughts on disaster resilience and policy implementation will definitely guide the panelists to chart a roadmap for a more resilient society. Thanks, sir. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Professor Saket Kushwaha, Vice Chancellor, University of Ladakh, for his warm welcome address and for providing technical support for this important event in the heart of Himalayan region. His support in fostering collaboration between disaster management experts and academicians has been invaluable. A special thanks to Shri Rajendra Ratnu, IAS, Executive Director, NIDM, for his unwavering commitment to disaster risk reduction and for spearheading initiatives that bridge academia, policymakers, governance, and community resilience. Thank you, sir. A heartfelt thanks to all members and officials of 16th Finance Commission, officials of UT administration, Army, and experts from NDMA who are with us today through the online platform. Thank you all for your presence.